Welcome to town. Everything is so strange here, but I think I'm getting used to it.
A rogue journalist. That's something I can get behind.
You seem cool. I don't want you getting eaten or something.
Can't wait to read about it in the weekly.
Season 2, Episode 2, Sister City. Roger is not allowed to scare me like that and make me wait until the next day for an explanation. When he called me last night saying there was some huge problem, I offered to drive down to the office right away, but he declined. He said even though it was a big issue, there was nothing we could do about it until today. For some reason, today is the day he'll be able to determine for sure if whatever the thing that is wrong is actually a thing. But he refused to go into more detail, just told me not to mention it to anyone, not even Francy and Lizzie, until after we get a chance to talk today. It was so hard not to say anything to them last night and act like nothing was wrong. I mean, I don't think they suspected anything, they weren't prying, but I don't like lying to them. At least this is only for a couple more hours. They just left, so I'm throwing my stuff together and heading over to the office. We're supposed to meet at noon, and it's only 10:30 right now, but I need to do something with all this anxiety. I've gone through every scenario in my head, and the thing that I keep going back to is Shia. Maybe it's just because she's the only real threat I've ever seen here, but I can't help but think she found a way to get back at us. Maybe she escaped custody, or she has an accomplice. Anything is possible with her, but I don't know why Shia is so involved. I mean, they were a part of everything, sure, but so were Francy and Lizzie and Ben. I don't know. I just hope Roger's early to the office, too. This is driving me nuts. Hello? Roger? Shia? Anyone here yet?
Oh, Avra, you startled me.
Oh, sorry. I just wasn't sure if... Did you sleep here last night?
What time is it?
11:30.
Oh, I guess I must have dozed off while I was looking through the archive.
Why were you going through that?
I wanted to be sure that my suspicion was correct before I alarmed you and Shia. I'm afraid it might be, though.
You think Bluff is in trouble?
Oh, Shia, you're early.
I suppose I might not be the only one who is anxious to meet. Hey, Av. Thanks for coming. I like that sweatshirt on you. It looks cozy.
Oh, thanks. I just threw it on. You look lovely.
Oh, sorry, I didn't fill you in earlier. I've been kind of spacey the last few days. Lots of anxiety, you know?
For sure. I'm just glad I can help, hopefully. But wait, Roger, go back. What's in trouble?
Bluff. Another cryptid town amongst the islands of southern Alaska. They're the only other cryptid haven in the United States, and while we have ties to all such towns across the globe, we're exceptionally close with them. Lots of our residents have relocated from here to there over time. Some families split between the two.
I was born there, and my father's still working as a fisherman in Bluff. I usually spend part of the summer there.
The name sounds familiar.
You've probably seen it in the archives. They're supposed to send newsletters every 4 weeks to arrive on the 1st, just like every cryptid town has been doing for the past 80-something years. Sure, sometimes an issue slips by or there's weather impediments, so it's not clockwork, but we haven't received anything since September 1st. Normally, if a town isn't publishing, we get some sort of message from them, an email or phone call or something. But Bluff has been oddly silent. I didn't even realize myself how long it had been until Shia brought it to my attention.
I was worried about my dad. We're close and we talk often, but he hasn't answered my messages in weeks. At first I thought he was on a fishing trip. Sometimes they go out for a couple weeks at a time and he doesn't have a cell phone, so we can't chat. He always tells me when those fishing trips are, though, and he's never been gone for more than a month. The last conversation we had was in late August, so I asked Roger if he had heard anything. It just all spiraled from there.
That does sound strange. They are pretty far north. Is there a chance they got a bad snowstorm and the power went down?
I doubt it. We checked the weather history and it's been pretty clear in that area for the last couple months. flurries here and there, but nothing big enough to be a problem.
Bluff is used to snow. I remember being buried under feet of it, and when we dug our way out of the front door, the paper would be waiting for us, sticking out of the snowdrift.
I will say, their PR manager is quite dedicated. I can't remember a time when we've missed more than 1 week's paper in a monthly stack. And now no delivery, no contact at all? Of course, this is still all speculation. The newsletters from this past month should arrive at the post office today. Maybe Bluffs will be with the others and everything will be fine.
Or maybe not.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go check. The post office people sure are taking their time in there.
Maybe we should have waited inside with Roger.
I don't know if that would have done much to speed them up.
True. I don't know if I want the papers to be in there or not.
I'm sure your dad's okay either way.
I hope so. Geez, when did it get so cold out here?
I thought you grew up in Alaska.
We remember to bring our coats with us in Alaska.
Here, take my sweatshirt.
Oh, no, I'm fine. It's okay.
Come on, you're freezing. I'm pretty warm anyway.
Okay. Thanks.
So, what made you move away from Bluff?
College at first. That didn't work out too well, though. I mean, I got my degree, but 4 years of living with humans is enough for a lifetime. I like Bluff, but I needed a change, so I traveled to all the other cryptid towns on a jet-setting graduation trip and decided that Water's Edge was the place for me. Now I'm wondering if I should have gone home.
You miss it?
I miss the people, the way of life. It's different up there. In touch with nature, dependent on the weather and changes of season, much more than us.
My parents were traveling around Alaska when I was born. I don't remember it well on account of being only a few days old at the time, but they've said similar things.
Yeah, I imagine it's a striking thing for most people. It's not that I don't like it here, but... Oh, Roger, those are this month's newsletters?
Yes. No Bluff.
No, they have to be in here.
Oh boy.
Damn it.
So, what does this mean for us?
I'm not sure. We need some way of reaching Bluff without necessitating them to respond.
Do long-distance mind readers exist?
I'm afraid not.
Well, oracles do. Jeez, it's so busy today. Lizzie's never gonna get off her shift with this crowd.
I mean, it is lunchtime on a Friday. I'm sure she'll be able to talk to us in a few minutes, though.
Tours of mozzarella sticks.
Thanks.
I just hope she isn't annoyed that I volunteered her for a favor.
I highly doubt she'll be annoyed. She likes to help, and it's not like you're asking for this week's winning lottery numbers.
Can she do that?
No, probably not. You know, that's something to ask, though. But your favor could save the fate of a whole town. It's serious stuff. I'm sure she'll want to help.
I hope. Have you ever been to Bluff?
No. Water's Edge is the only cryptid town I've ever traveled to. The kind of place you never leave, you know? Speak of the devil... Oh wait, that's me.
Who's the devil's devil today?
No, just a couple of friends from my hometown. It's my sister's 21st birthday, and she wants me to come visit for the celebrations.
That sounds fun. I didn't know you were that close with your sister.
I was. Distance changes things, though. I'm not sure if I'll go.
But she's your sister.
Yeah, but I do have 3 of them.
I still don't know how your parents handled all of you.
Oh, beats me. I'm glad they put up with the other ones as long as they did, though, or else they would have gotten tired of having kids before they got to me. Growing up was insane, and it wasn't just because I was a cryptid.
Ugh, they finally let me have a break for a few minutes. What'd you guys want to talk about?
How do you hone that waitress skill of always coming by when our mouths are full?
It's an art.
Sorry. So, there's a problem with one of the other cryptid towns.
Which one?
Bluff. They haven't sent newsletters or made any contact with us in 2 months. Shia can't even get through to their dad who lives up there. We need someone with powers to try to figure out what's going on, and I thought yours would do the trick, if you were okay with that.
Absolutely. No contact for that long doesn't sound good. I don't really know anyone in Bluff, but I'm sure Shia's got a strong connection to that town. If they can give me some info about their dad too, I'm sure I can connect somehow and see what's up. Do you guys know if...
Hey, Liz. Artie said he needs you on table 17.
I'm on my break.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just the messenger. He seems kind of angry you're talking to friends.
But it's my break. I can do what I want on it. He takes an extra long break every shift to smoke and call his girlfriend, and I don't complain about it.
I know. I'm sorry, Liz.
You know what? No. I'm gonna take my break, and someone else can start table 17. I still have 6 minutes left, and I intend to use them.
All right, up to you, man. Just be careful.
Stupid Artie with his stupid bowl cut. He waltzes in here as the owner's nephew and gets a manager position without any food experience. I mean, sure, he worked at some retail place in high school, but that doesn't make you as fit to run a diner as someone who's been working here as long as I have.
You applied for manager?
I would have if I knew there was a position open. I'm just tired.
Well, you don't have to do the Oracle stuff right after work. We can push it till later, or...
No. It's no problem. I want to help. I'm excited. I think I'm just a little tired of this place. I don't know. Maybe I...
Lizzie,
What's up?
didn't I tell you to serve table 17?
Joey told me, but I was on break.
It looks to me like you're just chit-chatting. That's not a break, that's being lazy. I don't want to hear it. Table 17 now.
We're paying customers too. She was helping us.
So sorry, sir, but I believe you're being served by Joey as you are seated at the bar. Just a misunderstanding.
But we,
Lizzie, back to work.
I'll call you guys later.
What a dick.
Yeah, when did he start working here?
I don't know, but now I know why Lizzie's been so fed up with this place lately. Guess we've got some time to kill before she can do her prophecy stuff.
Yeah. What are you... Oh, sorry.
Is it Roger again?
Yeah. Hey, Roger. What's going on? Any news? Oh, seriously? Again? Sorry, I'll be over in a few. Yeah, okay, bye. We'll have to reconvene later, Francy. I have to go remove my mini-me from Town Hall.
And I think there could be a lot of problems with that sort of thing. You know, my history teacher once said that if the government ever...
Avra, there you are. She's been talking my ear off for an hour.
Sorry, I'll handle it.
And Lizzie?
Ate tonight at her house. She said she'll need Shia.
Got it. I'll let them know. Well, it was lovely chatting with you, Juliet, but I've got to get going.
No worries. We'll talk later.
I'm sure we will.
Juliet, what are you doing here? We don't start our program until Monday.
I know, but I had to talk to you. After chatting with Roger yesterday and reading the paper, it couldn't wait.
Aren't you supposed to be at school?
We had the day off. Teacher convention. I wasn't doing anything and I figured you would be in sooner or later.
All right, well, you found me. What's the pressing matter?
This!
The building?
Yes! Your office, the office of the Water's Edge Weekly, a supposedly unbiased and impartial news source, is housed in Town Hall.
It is. It's part of the public relations department.
That's just ridiculous.
Excuse me?
The press is supposed to be objective, separate from governing bodies and law enforcement and all that stuff, so it can call out all the bad things that those people do. Sure, there are biased news sources that pick a political side or take bribes to make people look better or whatever, but I never expected that to come from the newspaper I trust, the newspaper from my hometown. You have to move this office right away. Also, you spelled costume wrong on page 5. Cost time.
Wait, so you came here to urgently discuss my impartiality in reporting?
Yeah, It's very important for a journalist to acknowledge and address their natural biases through...
Yes, Juliet, I'm very aware of how bias should be treated as a reporter. I learned that in college, where I studied for 4 years to get a degree in journalism. That's why I'm the one that will be teaching you, not the other way around.
Well, Miss Union said we could both teach each other things.
Then you can teach me how journalists use Snapchat and Instagram for getting stories out to younger people, okay? Then we can both learn something.
Okay. Sorry to bother you.
Juliet, you're already here. Why don't we get a jump on that first lesson? I know I was a little harsh with Juliet, so I took her into the office and started on the lesson I had planned for Monday. It wasn't much, really. I still have absolutely no idea what I'm doing as far as teaching goes, and I thought part of the lesson was botched anyway, since Roger had shown her around the office the day before. Apparently she hadn't seen too much, though, so I showed her the archives and my workspace and some of my old layout prints. She seemed to really like those. She said something about it being like when people used to set letter stamps into printing presses. I just print out my stories and shuffle them around on a fake front page to figure out spacing, but if she wants to make it sound cooler than it is, I won't stop her. She already knows a lot about news writing, which is pretty surprising. I mean, she's only 12. Maybe schools have changed a lot, but when I was 12, the only news source I frequented was Tiger Beat magazine and the American Girl newsletter. But Juliet mentioned a story that was in the New York Times earlier this week, something about cybersecurity, and another one by the Washington Post about big game hunting in Africa and the way it affects indigenous tribes. She just casually slipped those into conversation. I don't think I had ever even looked at the Times when I was her age, except to help my dad with the crossword puzzle. After hearing all of that, I was sure she had taken some sort of news writing class or was part of a club at school or something, but she said they didn't offer anything like that. She goes to Dalton Middle School on the mainland, so they have a good amount of students, but apparently their school newspaper died out after the advisor retired. Juliet said she had the advisor as a 6th grade English teacher before he left. I think his name was Mr. Zoltoff? He was annoyed that the school wouldn't let him start a journalism elective course, so he used a few weeks at the end of the school year to teach news writing. Juliet got hooked, I guess, but she never really got to try out the craft since the school paper was disbanded right after that. Sounds like what happened to me when my school lost funding for pottery classes. I really enjoyed throwing bowls and making some cool pieces, but without access to the class, I lost my passion for it pretty quickly. I don't want that to happen to Juliet. As difficult as it may be to work with her, I'm gonna give it a shot. Her first assignment was to find an example of great journalism and an example of not so great journalism. I told her to make some notes on how she feels about each so we can talk about it when we meet on Monday. Should be interesting what she comes up with. Alright, just made it to Lizzie's house. Looks like everyone's already here. Let's hope this oracle reading goes better than the last.
Avra, thank God you're here. You're just in time to save me from another 15 minutes of plant talk with Roger.
Oh no. I'm sorry I didn't get here earlier. Once that man gets on a plant rant, there's nothing stopping him.
Lizzie's still setting up in the other room.
No matter what I try, I can't get my orchid to bloom. I've moved it all over the house. I've tried every method of watering it. I'm just starting to think it doesn't like me.
Oh, Francisco, I'm sure your plants like you just fine. Could be a soil composition issue. It's tough to get a nice balance of minerals and nutrients. Avra, welcome.
Hey, Roger. Francy?
Long time no see.
Okay, I think I've got everything ready. Oh, Av! Perfect! Everyone's here. We should be ready to go. You all can follow me.
We'll discuss your orchid later, Francisco. I might just have the perfect potting mix for you.
Okay, let's get down to business, shall we?
Ah, mortals. Hello again. It's been a moment, hasn't it? Why do you call upon my vision?
We ask for information about Bluff, a fellow cryptid Cape Town.
Bluff. I have no recollection of such a place.
We know. Here. This is from Bluff. It's a newsletter written by one of their citizens.
I understand this town exists in Alaska. This is not an adequate connection to use my site, however.
We also have Shia.
Oh, yeah. I grew up in Bluff and visit often. My father still lives there.
I see. Tell me of this father, of your childhood in this town.
Right. Well, my dad is a fisherman and...
No. Speak with your heart and mind, not your lips. Open your memories to me. Ah, yes. A lovely childhood and a lovely father. He fishes and pulls in his catch, but he takes with it much more than he knows. This may be his undoing sooner than he realizes.
Wait, what? Is he in danger?
It is likely.
Is Bluff in danger?
I cannot see enough of Bluff to understand. The water nymph's connection to the community has weakened with time. But you...
Me?
Yes, cautious one. A connection is reaching out to you. They are trying to reach you through whispers and screams, fear and hope. Their message was delivered, yet it has fallen upon deaf ears. The town of Bluff is in peril, its people blind, and its threat deaf. Hope shone like a beacon from Bluff's bravest, but it dims each day you do not seek it out. Come home, it says. Even though you do not understand, it has been seen.
Whew! All right. Judging from the looks on your faces, that was a rough one.
We have to go to Bluff right now.
Okay, let's not get hasty. We haven't had a chance to figure out what all this means yet.
Figure out what it means? She told us that Bluff and my dad are in great peril. What else do we need to figure out?
I would personally like to know what messages we've all been ignoring.
It was probably referencing the newsletters. We haven't paid enough attention to their absence. Any way you interpret this, Bluff clearly needs our help.
Why us, though? What can we do that they can't?
I don't know, but I need to go. It said come home. Who else would that be directed to?
The phone call.
What?
The phone call, do you guys remember? The day after Ligeia was caught, I got that terrifying phone call with the screaming and the emergency sirens and a woman's voice yelling for some guy. What if that was what Spooky Lizzie was referencing when she said come home? What if that recording was taken during whatever peril is happening in Bluff?
Oh my god, you're right.
But come home. That doesn't make any sense.
Maybe the call was supposed to be for Shia. They are from Bluff. Maybe the caller got the wrong number.
Lizzie did say it wouldn't make sense yet. I think there's a lot we don't know. But we aren't going to figure it out sitting here.
Roger's right. I think we're going to Bluff. Thanks for listening to Season 2 of Cryptid Cape, Sister City. The show is created and produced by me, Victoria Pereira. I also voice Avra.
The voice of Francy is Aubrey King.
The voice of Lizzie is Christina Rose Hargis.
The voice of Shia is Angelique Fustukjian.
The voice actor of Roger is Christopher Medina.
The voice of Juliet is Amy Acevedo.
The voice of Joey is Aidan Gibbs.
The voice of Artie is Noah Gibbs.
Our theme song is Pink Night in Ohio by Ryan Anderson. The other songs used in this episode were One Last Time by South London Hi-Fi, Spanish Rose by Chris Haugen, After All by Geographer, Fender Bender by Bad Snacks, and Beyond the Lows by The Whole Other. Our story editor is Jennifer Wong. Our cover art was created by Christy Dupre. Be sure to subscribe to Cryptid Cape so you don't miss our next episode. We publish every 2 weeks. While you're waiting, why not check out a funny new podcast about the horror and hilarity that comes with working in a haunted house? Haunted Hell House of Horror is a fun audio drama by Haunted Griffin Entertainment with a whole first season of binge. Check it out with your podcast platform of choice. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Cryptid Cape for some fun bonus content. Share this episode with friends or leave a review if you enjoyed it. It means the world. See you next time.